I'm your host with the most, Logan 23. You're joining me for Courtesan of Rome, Chapter 9. 8 years ago in Gaul. You and your mother are gathering food on the lakeshore. She carefully collects stems of edible hogweed and lays them in her basket as you refill 2 large water jugs. Oh, that's as much as I can carry. If you're done, I see some feverfew growing near the trees. You leave the heavy water jugs on the shore and head towards the tree line to gather the herbs your mother points out. But as you lean down to collect them, what do we have here? You look up in shock to see a group of Roman scouts, led by a man whose decorated armor marks him as the first spear of the infantry. Seize them! 2 of the soldiers lower their spears and circle you as you reach for the knife your father gave you. Distract them. You stand slowly, serpentariously, gathering a handful of sandy soil. As one of the soldiers steps closer, you throw it in his eyes. Ah! He stumbles back, and you duck a spear and run past, shoving hard to send him staggering in front of the other centurion. Aaron! You whip around to see your mother prone on the lakeshore. She is scrambling backward, legs and hands beneath her, trying to escape the first spear. This one looks like a prize worth taking. No. Get away from her. You try to break free of the soldiers surrounding you, but others step in the way, their spears making a bristling wall between you and your mother. May Isa strike you dead. The first spear hoists to her shoulder, ignoring the kick she rains on his back. Ah! Get your hands off my wife! Your legs sag with relief as your father and Cinerex burst out of the trees behind you. Your father cuts down a Roman soldier with a fierce blow, then whirls to face the next. Put her down now! Warriors, we should report to the legate! First spear angrily throws your mother down from his shoulder. Her head hits a rock, and you see her eyes roll up as she goes limp. Blood trickles through her hair. No. Report to Legate Qualla now. Barbarian tribesmen are still at large. He takes off into the trees, and your father starts to follow. I mean, we can mend our mother. Father is more the warrior. Don't let them get away. You and Cinerex give chase to the soldiers, but without bows, you stand little chance of reaching them. Behind you, your father slows and stops, returning to your mother's side. God damn it! Delphinia, my love, wake up! Wake up! He strokes her face, and she moans, but doesn't open her eyes. Help me get her back to the camp. Her safety is more important than going after them. I was hoping you and him would go, and I would stay, but I had it played differently in my head. I guess we abandoned our own mother. Good job. He lifts her gently, as if she weighs no more than a child. We don't cherish each other. We have nothing more worth fighting for. And now our mother hates us. Power vacuum! Mommy, I'm sorry. Present day. Lena brandishes a piece of parchment with only a few words scrawled on it in bold hand. Marc Antony wants you to join him at a theater in Aventon. Theater? What show will we be seeing? Lena gives a wry smile. The playwrights have already gone to work mocking the Senate for abandoning Rome. The play chose a worthy target. Sounds like something Anthony would like. Seems like a dangerous choice of topics. Sounds like something he would like. Anthony will be watching to check they make him look good. You follow Lena into your chamber. She starts pulling dresses and considering them with a frown. Too gaudy, too reserved. Abu looks over the dresses Lena puts aside, scratching his little head. These types of plays tend to be quite bawdy. You'll need to dress the part if you want to hold Anthony's attention. Oh. Lena smiles as she pulls out a dress of red silk. The wispy piece is barely held together with a heavy gold buckle that will fall just over the navel. Lena shoos Boo away as he tries to reach for the shiny buckle. Begone, you little thief! What was Cassius thinking, giving you a monkey? He was saying he likes the dress. Isn't that right, Abu? Try it on. I guarantee if you wear this, it won't matter what happens on stage. No one will be able to look away from you. Wear the dress. Why am I a guy that just looks at that going... Okay. Look, I'm serious. I'm just... Like, if you're into a girl, sure. But otherwise, I'm like, eh. Like, it's pretty, but it's eh. I wouldn't jaw drop over her. I feel safer wearing this. That's almost indecent to go out in public. Wait until you see what the actors are wearing. Change your mind? No, no. Leave me alone. Continue with the story instead of asking 4 times. That afternoon, you sit beside Marc Antony on the tiered stone seats of an open-air amphitheater. On stage, painted performers in glittering costumes trot across the stage. 2 young men dressed as senators wave their arms in the air, running from Caesar. You would run to Pompeii when I have this waiting for you? The actor playing Caesar has a ridiculously exaggerated bulge in his armor. Tinting his skirt out nearly to the length of his arm, he gestures at the bulge, and 2 men gape dramatically. Turn around and run, senators! You know what awaits you in Greece! I don't get it, but okay. Anthony laughs uproariously as the actor playing Caesar catches one man from behind, knocking him sprawling. Truly the most accurate depiction of our Senate that I've ever seen. On stage, the actor dressed as Pompey calls a challenge to Caesar from across the stage. Caesar whirls to face him, his jutting armor knocking 2 more senators in each other. The crowd roars with laughter. How do you like the show? The show is no match for your company. He smiled at Anthony, capturing his gaze. It's not often I get to upstage Caesar. So... is the show right? Did the Senate already abandon Rome? Oh, yes. The cowards wasted no time tucking their tails between their legs and running to Pompeii for protection. Already? That's not even the best part. Pompey wanted them to plunder the treasury for him, to bring coin for all the legions he's raising in the East. Anthony can barely speak for laughing. But the craven morons were each so entirely devoted to their own survival that not one of them managed it. They just ran to their own estates to protect their property. His laughter ends abruptly, and his eyes go hard again. They don't deserve Rome. Who rules in Rome? They have given Rome to you. I feel like... No, let's play stupid. I feel like, okay, so who rules in Rome then? If it's not the Senate, then who rules in Rome? That's actually a good question, but at the same time, it's a stupid one. On stage, the actor playing Caesar flings mud at the retreating senators who roll and wallow in it like pigs. Anthony grins. You're looking at him. A few senators have made a stand on principle, but most would rather run to Pompeii than risk facing Caesar. Even if that means leaving Rome to me. Well then. Ooh, that's a bad choice. You hardly seem suited to governing. Let's try, I feel like this is a flirty one. I'll have to find a way to stay on your good side. You mean his gaze boldly and he draws you closer to his side. I'm sure we can think of something. On stage, the actor playing Caesar has captured Pompey in a simulating sex with him on the Balisca floor.
Oh yes, bow to me! Bow to me!
Crowd laughs uproariously, yelling to the actors, "Yes, give it to him, Caesar!" Actor playing Pompey covers his face with his hands.
Oh yes, Caesar, but not right here on the Senate floor. Right here.
He suddenly gives you a mischievous grin.
I'm starting to think maybe they have the right idea.
He gives you a sidelong look at the actors writhing and moaning on the mock-up of the Senate floor.
Or am I the only one who's ever thought about breaking in the Balisca at night to show the Senate exactly what I think of them?
You're a very crude man. Get to know Marc Antony better by desecrating the Senate halls with him in this exclusive scene. I like how it's gasp and ... and then, hey, you want to desecrate the Senate halls with me? For women who love crude men, you know? Stay at the show. You are definitely the only one who's been thinking that. And then he gives you a crooked grin.
Is that a no, then?
And miss the end of this. How could I survive without knowing what happened? You gesture at the stage where the action has given way to another slapstick fight. Antony laughs and you relax, fractionally knowing you haven't offended him.
I suspect none of us will know how this ends until Caesar catches up to Pompey.
Now playing as Victus. Hi. ... You have arrived in Rome at last. As you enter the gladiator barracks, tongue twisting today, Flavius lectures you and the other gladiators. Our timing couldn't be better. Marc Antony has just announced 3 days of games to celebrate Caesar's victory. No one knows our capabilities yet, and I want to keep it that way until the games begin. You'll stay out of sight in the barracks, train hard, and get ready for the fight of your life. As a fighter, never be overconfident.
Yes, Dominine.
You keep your head down, trying not to draw Flavius' attention as you coolly survey the gladiator barracks to look for any way out. Unfortunately, the underground cells offer little likelihood of escape. Put the things here. Flavius signals to a slave to throw down the baggage he has been carrying, which includes your gladius. Get comfortable. We start training tomorrow at dawn. He leaves as you sit down on the narrow slab bed, feeling the stone beneath the thin straw mat and threadbare blanket.
Well, can't say this is much improvement over Arimathea, but I expect better from Rome. Looks harder to escape from, I'll give it that. Caesar was unfortunately absolutely right about you, wasn't he? I am still chief of the Catanui until the day I die.
Ithamius claps you on the shoulder with a good-natured eye roll.
When do you suppose they feed us here?
Or you can answer, a heavily armored man comes around the corner. Coughing.
Maludus was supposed to be housed in this wing. Why are Flavius' men here?
You got clinches immediately in recognition. You will never forget that face.
This one looks like a prize worth taking.
No.
Get your hands off my wife!
That's not how the chain of events went, but... alright.
The first sphere. Who? That man attacked my wife.
You are on your feet before you can even think about it. The first spear looks at you with surprised distaste.
Who are you?
The man who's about to beat you to death. Punch! It is like no time has passed, as if you were in the back of the forest of Gaul, pursuing the man who dared lay a hand on the woman you love. Before you can even think, your fist is slamming into his jaw, sending his head snapping back. Ah! How dare you, slave! Oh, don't worry, we're just getting started. He lashes out with a punch of his own, but you block with a heavy, muscled arm, and his eyes narrow. With a snarl of fury, the first spear rushes you, trying to throw you against the barracks' hard stone wall. You don't bother to dodge, meeting his charge with planted feet and grabbing both his wrists in your hands. You grapple for a moment, and then you stomp hard on the outside of his knee and release his arms, sending him sprawling. I've been waiting to kill you for years. You half turn away, trying to reach the bag where your Gladius is still packed, but the first spear is on his feet again, punching wildly. You'll have to do this unarmed. I should kick him, freeze, punch him, kick. That's for Delphinia! You bring up your knee, then slam your leg forward in a powerful kick, which sends him flying against the hard stone wall. He staggers forward, still trying to punch, but he's too far to reach you before another kick sends him sinking to the floor. You insolent beast! He rushes at you, punching wildly. You feel a sudden pain and ringing in your ears, and you dimly realize that he landed a blow on the side of your head. Oh, come on! Mustering your strength, you rush him, overpowering him with your greater size and weight, slamming him up against the hard stone wall. No! Nope. I'm going to, I'm gonna enjoy every second of this kill. Wrapping one massive hand around his throat, you slam his head against the wall, remembering the fear that welled in your heart seeing Delphinia unconscious on the lakeshore. Again and again, until his head is nothing but a wet mess of blood, bone, and your eyes are filled with furious tears. Suddenly, strong hands seize your shoulders from behind, wrenching you away. Flavius is staring down in horror at the bloody mess that is all that remains of the first spear. Flavius shakes you, rattling your teeth together until you taste blood. Still panting from the fight, it is all you can do to not attack him too, but experience has taught you the futility of that. What in Jupiter's name did you do? I avenged his attack on my wife. I don't care what happened to your barbarian whore. Next Roman who wants to sleep with your wife, you ask him what time and if he wants to join them. Understand? We get AME music for this, really? Really, Pixelberry? Get him out of here! Two of Flavius's guards take you by the arms and drag you away. Confine him to a cell! His voice drops to a mutter as he surveys the bloodied hall in disgust. How do I explain this to Vicarious? Now playing his errand. You explain it that he just got beaten to death because he was trying to beat other people. Which isn't really a lie, is it? We're trying to practice your Cathara, as Xanthi jealously hovers in the doorway. God, it's you. Well, what did he say to you? Did he offer you gifts? Anthony. No, Divine Neptune, of course, Anthony. Anthony is dangerous. He is hardly the sort of man to be trusted with absolute power. I could take him from you any time. I've heard what Anthony likes in a girl, and you're definitely not his type. You're right, I'm not a whore. Oh, continue. And you think you are? He's the most powerful man in Rome. He's wasted on you. No one asked you. If Anthony won a woman who would throw herself at his feet and offer anything for his favor, he would have had 100, and probably does. But it's a lot harder for him to find someone he doesn't scare. Aaron, a visitor for you. You hear Lena's voice from the other room and push past Xanthi to join her. Cassius is standing with Lena in the chalet's front room. His face lights when he sees you. Aaron, it's been too long. He gives you a kiss of greeting on each cheek, and you return them. Letting your lips linger on his skin, he shivers, and his arms tighten in a gentle embrace. Abu sees Cassius and makes a mad dash for the door, leaping on his shoulder. Ah! Good to see you again, too, Abu. I apologize that my work has kept me too busy to visit. I hope this isn't farewell. Of course not. Are you not leaving with the rest of the Senate to join Pompey in Greece? I would rather risk my career and reputation than be remembered for abandoning Rome. I will make sure there's at least one lone voice left here to speak for the Republic. Xanthe walks between you and Cassius, deliberately not acknowledging him as she addresses herself to Lena. Who am I scheduled with tonight? Senator Glassy again? No? Yes, and I'm certain you remember Aaron's patron, Senator Cassius? Yes, of course. Lena signals a servant to bring Cassius wine, then gestures to one of the couches in the next room. Please, Senator, make yourself comfortable. Aaron will be ready in a moment. As Cassius leaves the room, Xanthe gives you a spiteful smile. Can I please beat her to death already? Please! I ask of you nicely, Pixelberry, one request. Please, thank you. It must be very valuable to have the patronage of the man who's an enemy of both the Caesar and the Senate. Cassius is choosing principles over expedience. It's not something I expect you to understand. I hope that's comforting for him when Caesar takes his head. Enough, Xanthe. Get ready. Everyone else has already left for their engagements this evening. Xanthe flounces off to her chambers to get dressed, and Lena motions for you to join her outside. I'll take Xanthe to Galacia, then find something else to do in the city. With everyone else out already, this will give you and Cassius some privacy here at the chalet. I appreciate that, but why? I hate to say this, but I thought you might agree with Xanthe. Cassius's influence as a patron now can't be what you once hoped it would. Lena grips both of your arms and turns you to look at her. Where was I looking before? Aaron, I want my girls to have patrons of influence because it protects you. Not for the chalet? Cassius Coin spins just as well with or without the Senate's support, but for you, it is far more important that he truly cares about you. And I would rather you have that than the amount of fickle attention from someone like Marc Antony. I care for Cassius well, think Antony truly feels something for me, have given my heart to another. How about this? I don't can know. How about that? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, I guess given my heart to another would mean suffix? Question mark? I mean, I like Cassius, don't get me wrong, he's an intellectual, he's better than everyone else. This is hard. I feel like this is also an illusion of choice, so let's just go with what we feel for now. It's not die-hard cementing, I don't feel, so I care for Cassius as well. He is kind and honorable, and would always choose to settle an argument by reason, not by force. Then I would not ask you to give him up, whether his principles leave him right now. He is so different from the men that I grew up with. I wonder what my father would make of him. Your father would think he's a weakling, but also an intellectual, but it's still a weakling. At that moment, Xanthe emerges from the chalet. Enjoy your time with your soon-to-be ex-Senator, Aaron. It'll be shorter by a head as soon as Caesar returns. Caesar has gone to fight Pompey. I don't care how good a general he is, Pompey is the best Rome has ever seen. He and the Senate will crush Caesar and return to Rome, and Cassius will be back in favor for having held the line against Antony. Xanthe rolls her eyes, and Lena gives you your hand a squeeze. Go back to him. When you come back in, Cassius is feeding Abu grapes from a bowl. Abu is seated contently on his shoulder, murmuring sleepily. Last one now. He looks up as you come inside. What was that about? Lena just wants to make sure you feel welcome. This may be the only place in Rome where I am welcome right now. Somehow I've managed to put myself on the wrong side of both factions. That's because you're not running. You're standing up for what you believe in. Cassius runs a hand through his hair and laughs. Always a terrible choice for a politician. Bring Cassius bread and cheese from the chalet's larder and take a seat beside him. I actually didn't count on staying. I just wanted to warn you that Legato Quala has been appointed Prefectus Urbi and will be left with the urban cohorts to patrol the city. I know his history with your family. I wanted to warn you to be careful so you can stay clear of him. Thank you for always thinking of me. Cassius takes your hand, kissing your knuckles with soft lips. Always. Cassius pulls you closer, his lips meeting yours. You relax into his kiss, losing yourself in his warmth. Without you, Rome would be quite unbearable for me right now. After a moment, Cassius looks up in dawning confusion. It's very quiet here. Where is everyone today? Well, they're all out at engagements already. Lena has given us the chalet for tonight. Really? The whole chalet? And all of its amenities. Don't worry, suddenly we feel so tired. Cassius takes your hand and draws you over to the baths, which steam invitingly into the cool air. Then perhaps you would care to join me in a bath? Bathe with Cassius in this exclusive scene to offer him encouragement and improve your relationship. He needs encouragement? I mean, seriously. He needs to be discouraged. Bad, Cassius, bad. Continue talking. I would rather just keep talking. I'm sure there is much of interest that you've heard in the Senate. Wretched topic right now. But an important one. An important one sometime later. You and Cassius settle on the couch in your quarters, sharing a plate of grape and cheese. Abu's little paws reach up from under the couch and sneaks a grape off the plate. Abu. Oh, let him have them. He deserves a treat, too. He rubs the top of Abu's head, and the little monkey climbs on his lap, chewing contentedly. So, tell me about Legat Aquala. What do you want to know? To me, he has always been the monster who haunts my dreams, but you must know more of him. Cassius eats a grape and considers. Aquala is what most senators would call a new man, an Italian, not one of the founding families of Rome. His family has gained some prominence by their military service, but most of the Senate would still dismiss him as truly Roman. Ah, so are they affixed on lineage? Oh yes, there's a big difference to most of them between Rome and mere Italy. The god Aquala. Seems a man who wants to rise high in Rome. Let's go with that, because most likely, who cares if you're sold as a slave? Ah, I was right. I can imagine it sits well with him to be looked down at by old men in togas. No. From what I know of him, he would do anything to rise high enough through his victories that the Senate is forced to acknowledge him as their equal. He has even bought a house on the Caelian Hill, though he has not yet made it to the Palatine. Try to hide your excitement, taking a sip of wine to cover your exultant grin threatening to break across your face. Where exactly on the Caelian Hill, so I can steer clear? Oh, aren't you clever? The next afternoon. You approach Koala's house, hoping to get a look inside while he isn't home. Perhaps you'll learn something to help you plan your revenge better than you managed with Rufus. Abu rides on your shoulder, oddly quiet, as if he has caught your clandestine mood. Checking for servants or anyone watching you, you try the door and find it locked. Alright, Abu, show me what you can do. Abu leaps off your shoulder, hanging from the top of the door frame by the foot as his nimble fingers fiddle inside the keyhole. After a moment, there is a click and the door slides open a crack. Shh, great job, Abu. With Abu back on your shoulder, you slip inside. As you make your way through the ornate hallway to the large back bedroom that you assume will be Koala's, you hear a woman's voice coming from inside. Almighty gods, please forgive us the arrogance of our crimes. I know who that voice is. You creep closer, first smelling the incense, and then seeing a long tumble of dark curls over a pale blue dress as you catch sight of a woman kneeling before a shrine. As she turns to you in surprise, you see... Hi. Sabina. Yes, the door was just unlocked. God, you're a shit fucking assassin. What is Sabina doing in the home of your greatest enemy? Is she as much his victim as you, or will she be on his side the whole time? The fact that she doesn't want to have a child with someone who is a destroyer of Rome... Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, it's not really hard. No hablo español. So with that being said, I hope y'all did enjoy the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head on down to the description down below for links to support me and our community, our content, and whatnot. We're going almost on... We're well past the 10,000 subscribers now, and I want to thank each and every one of you for that. And my only wish, my only hope, my only goal for 2019 is to continue to grow our community as large as it can. With like-minded individuals who want, to not disrespect one another, to want to be open-minded, can have even civil disagreements and arguments, and just keep it civil. Things like that happen, but keyword, keep it civil, keep it intellectual. You don't need to immediately go, you're just stupid, and just start calling names and everything, just because you may be on a losing battle. That's why you take a deep breath if someone's aggravating you or upsetting you or whatnot, and you just take a deep breath and you're like, okay, maybe this person we're just going to have to agree to disagree. Thank you for your criticism or opinion or whatnot, and I bid you a good day. That is how you win an argument. If you even are losing or winning, you get to the point where you feel like it's mindlessly dumb to keep arguing. Just back away. Just walk away. You don't need to keep, throwing insults or doing things. Civil arguments and disagreements happen, and they're a good thing. You don't need to avoid them. They're a good thing, but keep them civil. Keyword. And like I said, I want acceptance from, I would say, most of our community, if not all of my community, is like that. And that's why I love our community, because I have to say, it's a community unlike a lot of other communities here on YouTube, let alone, hey, in the world. And I love it. I accept it. And I'm glad for it. So thank all of you for coming together, and let's continue. Let's continue to do the good work that we're doing. Without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.